and welcome to our happy hour. If you're new out there, say hi. Otherwise, I'm Brian, aka that way, Glitch. And then you can introduce yourself.
I'm Erin,
AKA,
supposedly the boss in the brains, but I don't know about
AKA the boss in the brains.
Oh,
so
I don't know. Well, it's Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope your week is going well and you're looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're new here, this is just our little happy hour. We do other stuff on Glitch 2600. That's the name over there behind, where we cover tech and geekery. We have a tech Q&A that we have been doing on Tuesdays. Might be different days, but we have a tech Q&A that you can come in and catch. That's just where you can ask me anything you want about technology and geekery, and I will try to answer it live for you on the air. And if I don't know, I will track it down and get it free for the next time and then let you know. You can also message us through our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel, which probably brings up the fact that I should bring that up. You can subscribe to us. If you're watching this on Facebook, you already know that you can follow us at Glitch2600. But otherwise, you can also find us on YouTube, and eventually we'll be simulcasting. But you can catch us on YouTube, and there's that. But if you don't want to have to type in that link, just take your handy-dandy smartphone, hover it over that little QR code right over somewhere over there, and it'll ask you, do you want to go there? Click yes, and then you can click subscribe. Like I said, otherwise, if you're catching this on the YouTube, you can just follow us at Glitch2600. And like I said, this is where we instead talk about craft beer. I'm obviously a big Iowa craft beer guy, so she's a girl for it. So, but this is where we geek out on that stuff. So, if you're new, tell us what you're drinking. We'd love to know that you're out there. Say hi. We'll tell you what we're drinking and what we're doing. We're going to cover 3 beers tonight. We're going to stop covering 4 and 5. These are going to be slightly shorter episodes. Of course, if you have questions and stuff and we're answering them, we'll just keep going because that's fun. But otherwise, we're going to try to keep these a little bit shorter. And here in the not too distant future, we're going to add in a little bit of trivia and more fun. So if you're liking this part, just know it's going to get better. So follow us. So
sounds good.
Should we just start talking or going over the beers we're going to?
I think we should.
All right. So should we tell them about the first one?
The first one.
So our first beer is by Carakale, which Carakale is from...
I don't know.
Oh, she's failed. She doesn't know that it's a Jordan beer.
Well,
It's from Jordan.
Well, I knew it was from Jordan. I didn't know that's what.
So when I said where it's from,
okay,
that's
Jordan.
Ooh, you've already let us down today. You scared everyone away.
I've scared everyone away.
Oh, the pain, Erin. The pain. It's from Jordan. So this is going to be one of the fun ones. It's actually, we're covering a beer from another country, which I think is pretty cool. But I don't know about you guys. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a little bit on Untapped. So I'm going to pop over here. Maybe. If I remember how to do this. Maybe not. Get a whole new computer set up, and now all of a sudden it doesn't want to show anything, of course. So let me try one more configuration here. See if it shows up. There we go. Handy dandy. So Carakale, which is a red Imperial red ale. That's red ale Imperial. That's 9.3 ABV. It says 20 IBU, which is just the international bitter units, which it's to your tasting. But they're out of Jordan. That's what I wanted to kind of show there. And that's pretty cool, in my opinion. But I've had 593 check-ins. They normally rate around 3.5. We're going to see what we come out as. But just to show, that's their Imperial Red Stout, or Red Ale. Red and ruby color, aromas, cherry, plum, all those fun things. And full-bodied dry bitterness. We haven't tried it yet, so I don't know. I did want to show just a little bit. I love going into the pictures on Untapped and showing what people have sometimes. So this just kind of shows one of the monastery and in Jordan, and then their kind of cool Carakale logo. So you get to see that on there. I think it's a pretty cool logo, but just wanted to show that through. That's what's kind of fun when you go into Untapped and you go down to those photos. You can see a lot of cool things. But we're going to go ahead and bring this back up for us. And we probably got to open that beer.
Yes, we do.
Since you're just spacing off.
I'm not spacing. I was waiting for you to finish talking about it.
You're fired.
This is the bottle. It kind of showed it there on his photos, but that is what we're drinking.
So it's an Imperial Red Ale. What type of glass do you think we would normally pour this in?
I'm gonna say a tall one.
A tall one. That's you're failing tonight.
A pint glass is what I'm going to say.
It could be a pint glass. Because this is a 9.3, you could also pour it into a tulip type glass. Because I wouldn't say it's considered a heavy ale, but let's see here. As an example, it's whether we go between this style glass or that style glass. Which, not showing marketing for any of my places, but there you go. That's what we could do. You can get by with this one, but because it's a 9.3, alcohol, you might get a little bit more out of that. We're not going to do that, though.
Since we're just
you guys don't want to sit down the whole time we're sipping. So just kind of show you the cool color to it. And no one will have the other can, but we're being lazy today. But, let's give it a quick try. So, they say in here that it's strong, sweet, malty, rich, and sweetness. Yeah, you definitely get...
Malty.
Well, you definitely get a lot of sweetness in it.
A lot of sweetness, but I get a lot of malty.
Yeah, I can see that. But for me, that's why it needs to be in that tulip type glass, because it'll bring those flavors and everything kind of forward. Where the pint glass is made for those kind of lighter, and then the tulip brings everything into your nose, which brings all those flavors even a little bit farther forward. And that's what you want. I mean, 70% of your taste comes from smell.
Your nose. Mm-hmm.
So if something ever tastes terrible, just plug your nose and try to eat it. You'll notice it loses, a large chunk of its flavor. If you're tasting something really good, do the same thing. It's a fun experiment, and you'll see it just changes it. So that's how the shape of the glass and the cup in general, even with wine, it's the same type of thing. But yeah, this is the Carakale. I'm going to bring that back up just to show everyone. I should be using my other app thing for it, but I'm being lazy. So there's the Carakale Imperial Red Ale from Jordan. And I don't know quite yet when I'm going to rank this one.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
But if you're new on here, say hi. Otherwise, you don't have to. If you just want to be anonymous out there, then by all means. But I'm also just going to show everyone, because we love you out there. We want you to come on and follow us on Untapped, which the really cool way to do that is just still hold your phone over that QR link, and you'll be able to go find us on Untapped. And you can see the beers that we're going to cover. So that's what's really fun. In fact, I'm going to bring some stuff up on my iPad so I can show you, because I really meant to have this up ahead of time. I myself am doing terrible today, but
you are not too fine.
But no, if you're new out there, please say hi. Like I said, we're only covering 3 beers today. We're hoping you can follow along. You can always, when we're posting this on Facebook and YouTube, we put the beers that we're going to cover in there. And if you ever have a hard time finding them, just message me. I'll see if I can find it or help you find it in your area. Otherwise, we get a lot of our stuff from Wine Styles or the brewery itself. So what I want to show, and I'm going to flip back over here just to show you guys. What I like to show is if you come and follow us on Untapped, you can scroll down and see my list. And I love that it says 15 items, even though it was updated already. And it has way more than 15. It says 32. These are the beers that we're going to be covering. And then it has beers that we've covered in the past. So you can always go back and see past ones and then what we've rated it. So we'd love for you to join in on the fun. Send snap it, send me a friend request, and I'll friend you on there and you can follow along. Otherwise, just watch for fun. You don't have to jump in on the other if you don't want to.
And if you're drinking along with us, let us know what you're drinking. Yep. We'd love to hear it.
Whether especially if
beer or wine.
We might be having some that we've never tried, and we might want to add it on a future show. Mm-hmm. But I do like to show when I can. This is a fun little sheet that we have that shows you what beers go where, or at least a suggestion. But that's how you can see, since this is a red Imperial ale, since it's a heavy ale, it can fall both over here and just in the IPA's ales type area. But that, like I said, this is a 9.3. And as a 9.3, it's, I'm going to put it into one of those stemmed glasses instead. Nice.
Hello.
Smirnoff Ice, red, white, and blue. Berry. And berry is my favorite. Wait all year for it. Yeah, if you freeze those, you can turn them into bomb pops. If you add color into it, so food coloring. They say alcohol doesn't freeze, but if you freeze something long enough, it will always freeze. If you turn it up, it just takes longer. And if you add a little bit of water to it, so Jello shots. I told the story before where we on accident put too much alcohol in our Jello shots because I was told wrong. And you're supposed to boil a cup of water, and then you add a cup of water for normal. And I was told, no, replace that other cup with just alcohol. No. Luckily, it's set. It just took a long time. And I turned down the refrigerator settings. But it just shows anything will freeze if you give it enough time. Mm-hmm. Or set.
Yes.
But nowadays, we add we're still pretty bad. It's supposed to be 50-50. Or one cup boiled, and then the next cup, you do half alcohol, half water. I do I say 75, and it's more like 80 to 90. But anyone who's had my Jello shots,
they come out pretty good.
But no, you can do that with the red, white, and blue, and you can do some stuff like that. Even more fun, take that red, white, and blue, and Jelloize it, but in layers. So you can add coloring to it. If you want to go one step farther, you could add a little bit of, if you like cinnamon, you can add Fireball. I'm not a big fan of it as much anymore. Yeah. But you can add other flavored vodkas too. So if you have your Smirnoff, which is red, white, and blue, has that berry, you can still go get a blueberry one, color it blue even a little bit more, let that set in a Jello, let it sit overnight. So this takes a little bit of time to do. Make your pops, get a filler, fill up about that much into the glass, let it set, for about 8 hours, 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then once that's set, get another alcohol of another color or another flavor. They can do the red, or take that red, white, and blue and colorize it and do the next layer. And then if you really want to have fun, go get like Malibu pineapple and color it yellow and go that next little bit at the top. And you can end up really cool little bomb pop coming. But we're going to add in.
Hi, Tiffany.
Tiffany.
Thanks for joining us.
I need to go find that to give that a try. I meant to last week, and then I forgot this week. It's been a busy week. Like I said, I've been upgrading equipment, hardware, got new toys. Or I got a new toy the other day. It's for the family, i.e. it's really just for Aaron and I. And let's face it, it's a computer, so it's more for me. We're trading out that and getting this all upgraded. I have all new graphics that are going to be coming for our Final Cut. So you'll see stuff just gets a little bit better, a little bit cooler as we go forward. You're going to see some pop-up little trivia. We're going to trade around some of the corners, some wipes. It's just gonna get cool. But we knew it was gonna be a busy weekend, so we decided that we were just gonna do a quick, easy one tonight. But going forward, like I said, the show is just gonna be pretty much 3 beers every once in a while, 4 or 3 drinks, just so we can go over and get more into it. And we'll be adding more info, like what's the background of what is an Imperial Ale and why is it Imperial? We'll get into that stuff. right now, tonight, because we're already going a little longer, because I'm, winded. We're not going to do that.
You're fine.
He said, I made popsicles I saw on TikTok.
Very cool.
Yep. Dump the alcohol and seal with the shrink. Nice. Yeah, I've seen that before where it's the like the old style, the freezer pops.
Yeah.
And yeah, you use like a chi and
doesn't
you just
that
straighten
ruin
it.
your straightener?
Well, you get a crappy straightener. You go get one of the ones over the top, or you put some over it to seal it.
I suppose.
Spray some Pam on it, and then it won't stick.
Yeah.
I don't know. Then your hair will smell great and be cooked to goodness the next time.
Yep. Sounds good. Bring one by so we can try it.
Yeah, I got to finish this thing so we can move on to our next. This is why we don't drink full ones. I talk too much.
Well, you didn't rate that one yet.
No, I didn't rank that one. So I like that one. I have ranked it before, which is what I was trying to remember, is what I ranked it before. So if I come in, no, I haven't ranked it. Oh, terrible. Before I used an old one. See, that's what.
I guess that would be the way to go.
Well, you don't get to see my sheet, so we're going to do our rating. So bottle, location is at home. Just give it my malty sweet because I'm going to rank along. So if you had us on Untapped, you would be seeing what I'm doing live. But otherwise, nope, you don't get to see. And I'm going to go ahead and rank that one. I think it's good. I do like this from Jordan.
Yeah,
and I think that's pretty cool. But I've been regrading my scaling as to how I want to drink and the stuff I'm going to drink more. So while I think it's good, where I've normally been scaling stuff a little higher, I'm actually going to give this one. What are you going to guess?
A 3.25.
Actually, it's a 3.5, so we're pretty close.
There we go.
Because I do think it's really good. This would
good.
Normally have gotten a 3.75, maybe a 4 on my scale. I'm scaling it back. I like that it's from Jordan. It's getting a little extra points. Probably flavor-wise, I would have probably put it at a 3.25. But there we go. All checked in.
Okay.
And Untapped all the way through.
All right.
But yeah, let's...
So now we're ready to move on to the next one.
Yeah, which the next beer... Next.
Drum roll.
Are we... we're covering that one, right? Yep.
Yes.
The Des Moines IPA Double Dry Hop from Confluence. I don't actually know for a second the Carakale. Did we actually? I never showed you guys the bottle. Oh, you did? Cool. Yeah. Never mind. Then show Confluence. I love Confluence artwork and all fun things from them.
That's fun.
In fact, that gives me a quick second.
Okay.
Because you're going to open that and start pouring it.
I am going to open it.
And so I want to talk. I talked with the guys from Confluence this last week, and I still had a few things that I kind of want to talk about with them. So their double dry hopped Des Moines IPA has juice yeast in it, so it gets a little bit more of that juicy forward.
Nice.
And some of that has to do with they learned a whole bunch out of this when they did it because it would have particulates from all the stuff they put in. Mm-hmm. But what I wanted to still go over is that they have a local artist or a local design firm design up all these, and then they work sometimes with bringing in an artist on all of these covers. So they get really neat covers and redo them from time to time. So if you look through the stuff, you'll find two different dry hop ones. There's a purple, and that's a different one that has different hops. So if you look at the top, this one has Centennial, Simcoe, and Citra hops. The other one has other ones. It's an older one. But this year alone, they're going to be brewing. They're doing a very ambitious where they brew and come out with at least one beer a week. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times it's 2 or 3. So this year, just slated, they have 73 official brews on the schedule, plus more. They have 5 to 6 collaborations. They suspect when they get done, they'll release closer to 100. It'll be somewhere between 80 and 100 beers this year. And if that says anything from how ambitious that is, before they had 149 different beers. So basically, they're going to be kind of almost doubling what they've ever had just by releasing that. So once the tap room opens back up It's kind of fun. You can look on the back wall, and they have like a reveal sheet. If you've ever seen a Major League, they're peeling off pieces. That's what they do. They peel off and show what that beer is for that
Yep.
week. So I think that's pretty cool. This is the first year also that they're doing in 2020, they're doing 12-ounce cans. This is a 16-ounce. They started doing these in 2017, but for some of their more higher alcohol content ones, barrel aged, where it'd be hard to get. You'd have to get them in a bomber, kind of like this, kind of bigger. They now have the 12-ounce ones, which makes it easier to distribute and keep the price down because they work with only natural ingredients. That means if it says, or if you get chocolate in there, they put chocolate in there. They figured out how to get the particulate out because a lot of times that stuff settles. If you get strawberry, there's a good chance they put in a ton of strawberries. In fact, on one of them, they told me they put in, I read it, it was just a ton. For the cherry Jubilee, they put in 80 pounds of cherries with each batch. So that's just crazy. That's a ton of cherries. But they believe in that real flavor, keeping it natural, and that stuff costs. But they've done a really good job of keeping their pricing in order with that. So
it's very reasonable.
I do know they're going to be adding some other cool things when they open. One, if you've ever been there, you're going to see 2 new little grain silos up front that they were working on, so they can bring grain directly in. So they'll have bulk grain handling coming right to the left of the front door. They also mentioned they're going to have a little... Oh, no coffee.
Excuse me.
Stay away. Social distance. See, I already got it now.
Now I have a tickle.
They already said there's going to be a little surprise when they open, and they don't have a date of opening yet, but they mentioned there's going to be a little surprise when they open. So, something to make everyone happy, and you can go in and see it. So, but I just wanted to bring that up and show that, and then I'm going to bring up my handy dandy Untapped again, and we're going to flip on over. I'm doing a terrible job of this. I'm just using my mouse instead of using my other keys. So this is the Des Moines double dry hopped IPA, or double dry hopped Des Moines IPA, 6.9 ABV, so alcohol per volume, and it's 75 IBU. Remember, IBU is that Imperial bitterness unit, international bitterness unit. You can ask people; they'll give you all different ones. You get a sneak peek on what I've scored it before, so you guys see it this time. But they've had over 1,000 check-ins. They give it pretty good ranking. You can see some of the artwork on there. But what I always love about Confluence is their details and descriptions. So they really go into detail about the stories and everything behind it. You can find that on all of their beers. Like Cherry Jubilee was named after Drew Bishop, one of their brewers, who worked on that one. So that's how you get Cherry's Jubilee. But this is where they talk about Des Moines IPA as one of their flagship beers, and they decided to try to dry hop it, or double dry hop it. So that just goes into the story on there, and they talk about how they changed it and what they went through. I could read it all off to you, but you could just go there and read it yourself. So I'm not going to go into that. But you can see that they give it they describe it as hoppy, clean, crisp, fruity, and bitter. And they've had quite a few check-ins, so I'm not going to go over there on it. But as we do that, we got to decide and take a sip ourselves. We'll show you what it kind of looks like. So you can see it's not hazy. For lack of better, I should bring a flashlight and start shining behind. Since I didn't hook up beer cam this week.
Cloudy, I would say.
Yeah, I didn't hook up the beer cam this week.
No, we didn't.
Like I said, new laptop, so didn't want to mess with. I mean, it's all new connectors, and I'm an IT guy. You make it work.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, this is some good stuff. That's the good stuff right here.
Yes, this has a nice, clean, fresh taste. It would be good during the summer on the patio.
Summertime.
This is a good one.
Yeah.
And it does have a lot of fruit forward. So, Tiffany, you might actually like this one. I don't think it's that bitter. It has a high IBU, but like Brian said, it's kind of...
And that's where that hazies fall into that same thing, where hazies normally have a higher IBU, but because they're not filtered, or New England IPAs, they're so fruit forward. We had one tonight. That was our problem. We were trying not to have a hazy tonight. So we went and picked something that was supposed to be just a IPA. Didn't say it was hazy.
Little pregame.
And it was so hazy and so fruit forward. It was still good.
It was yummy.
But we can let you know. It was Barntown's Groovy Ruby.
Groovy Ruby. That's what it was,
Blame.
Yes.
Because they call me Mellow
And I think
Yellow.
I gave it a higher rating than you did on
Yes,
my
you did.
Untapped.
Yes, you did.
It was pretty tasty.
Yes, you did. But I liked it. I just, man, my stuff doesn't want to connect through.
Yeah. So yeah, Tiffany, I think this might be one that you should try. It's pretty good.
But again, while I'm thinking about it, subscribe to us on YouTube. Just going to throw that out there. Subscribe on YouTube. And because I've got to, follow us on Facebook if you're watching us on YouTube. And just had to throw that out there. It's what I do. You know, if I wanted to go one step farther, we'd be like, I also want to do one fun thing. Because I finally put them on here. I want to show the craft beer kids. This is from Confluence. We call them craft beer kids, but they're really the craft beer fam. And so we've got different clothing for them. I, of course, don't have it all loaded up. I only added a couple this time. But that was them hanging out when Confluence was open right before my birthday. And it's our Tapper and Hoppy. That's their name. Obviously, Tapper is the guy because Hoppy just doesn't quite roll off the tongue there for him. And we also have them, as we've shown, with Confluence Extinction event at the U Rock hanging out. And then just because I want to share it, this was a fun, also Confluence and Peachtree. We had two being represented at the same time. We had the Confluence 1122 or batch 1122. And then we had the Peachtree Get a Little Hazy New England IPA. But that's them hanging out. I don't know why Hoppy's always winking at me. But you can see now I'm rocking my Hercules haircut because it came from the Hercules set. But I just wanted to throw that out there, wanted to show it because I think that's fun. And I like sharing them. There are Iowa craft beer fam. Eventually we'll add kids and stuff. You missed what the last one was called? The last one that we're drinking right now is the Des Moines IPA. The last one I just showed the photo of was Get a Little Hazy from Peachtree, along with a bunch of other Confluence
This is
ones.
the one we're drinking right now, though.
That's what we're drinking. If I make that a little bit easier, that's what we're drinking. So,
yes,
I guess
it's pretty good.
If you've had it, tell us what you would rank that.
Yes, definitely.
If you haven't, then you should go out and try it. Confluence is easy to get in Iowa, especially. They self-distribute. And they actually distribute for a couple other breweries. That's what's really great about Iowa craft beer. They really do a good job of supporting each other. And that's one of the reasons I love. That's why I rock the Iowa craft beer logo on a lot of things. If I panned over here, you would see Iowa craft beer on this. You would see Iowa craft beer over there. Heck, because I can.
10. There it is.
Confluence, rocking the Confluence 10. We're also fans of Toppling Goliath out in Iowa. But this is our new addition to the bar. It'll be up on the wall once we figure out how to make everything hang without falling down.
Right.
But I like having that one in there.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right. If you're drinking anything else or if you're new to the show, please say hi. We'd love to hear from you.
So just a reminder, IPAs would also pour in that stout glass. If you had a double IPA, because it's heavier, you pour it into a stem. So that's the difference. So not because it's a dry hop, not double dry hopped, double IPA is different. That goes in this style. A normal IPA goes in your traditional pint glass. Ooh, there we go, pint glass. Which, if anyone wants any fun trivia, does anyone know where India Pale Ale originated? It's not where you think it did. If someone says India, I'm just going to tell you, you're wrong. It's funny. No. I'll give you like 2 seconds. If you have a guess, now's the time to guess. IPAs, India Pale Ale. Where do you think it originated from?
Hi, Drew. Thanks for joining us.
Drinking a PBR. We'll get you converted. Hazies are the way to make the cross to the dark side.
We're still working on Tiernan, but he's coming around.
Pakistan. We did have a Jordan beer before that. We did the Carakale.
So that was from the Jordan beer. Jordan.
Which I have something about their logo, but I don't like saying stuff about their logo. Or not the logo, the name on the front. I'm not going to show on that one. But no, the India Pale Ale IPA originated in England. It's known for its bold, hoppy, copper-colored, high alcohol content ale brewed to survive the long, hot voyages at sea. So essentially, it's the beer IPAs, India Pale Ale, because they were looking for a route to the spices for India. So because of that, it's an India Pale Ale. It was made to go on the boat. It's the beer that founded America, is what we're saying.
And then that would also probably be why hazies are sometimes
New England
IPAs. Haha.
Bust out my Family Guy. But yeah, what's the next one that we're gonna do? Should we talk about it? Should I maybe bring something up? Let me bring up my handy dandy notebook. I'm not gonna do that. No one wants that. No one wants that crap. I'm just gonna drive here, pop this over, and let's see here. Should I give a hint on what it is, or we'll just show it that way? You want to show it?
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Our next beer, our final beer of the night, ding ding ding, is Deschutes Brewery with their Mirror 2014. It's the Reserve barrel aged barley wine ale with 50% aged in wine barrels. I see. I told you it was barrel aged.
Yeah.
I don't know. I make this stuff up. But just to show it, it is 11.2% and has an IBU of 53. Again, I'm going to be really surprised if this is bitter compared to some of the IPA and different ones. I bet you our first one, which had a lower IBU, is going to be more bitter than this. But Deschutes Brewery is out of Bend, Oregon. And they have really good beer. I really love what they have there. But barley wine has a tendency to be made or made like a wine. So that's pretty common. And they have a tendency to be higher alcohol content. But what I love about this one, they have multiple variations. So we have the 2014, which is out of production. But you can still find it some places like Wine Styles, and because they age. Not all beers are made, where you see the best by date. Some of them say best before. So if I switch back over here, after. If we switch back over here, you'll see on this one,
it's hard to read.
A best after. You can't really read it very well, but you can see where it says best after. And that's important because that just shows how some beers can age. And, you traditionally think about wines aging more than you think about beers aging, but you can actually lay down a beer and it can change its flavor. It's normally those domestic beers that don't age. They need a before because they need to be served pretty cold because they don't carry their flavor for very long. It's just like a cheap bottle of wine. If it's really cheap, it's made to drink sooner. You don't lay that down and try to come back to it 10 years later. It's going to be terrible. I mean, Yellowtail is not made to be drank 10 years later. It's made to be drank like as soon as it's made, almost. Weird thing with that, they actually use these big vats to ship it over. They don't bottle it there. They take it across sea in these big vats and then bottle it here or in each country as they do it.
There was like a double lid on this one.
Double lid across the sky. What's it even mean? But just a little bit of trivia there. But some beers can stay and age really well. And I should probably finish this so I can have the next one.
This one was tough to open. I've been struggling. while Brian's been talking.
Yeah. The nice thing, some wines, they put wax on top and you can just cork down through it and then just crank it. You can't do that with the beer because the wax blocks you from getting it on there. So you got to cut it off first.
Yeah.
But just to kind of show, that's the coloring. It is really dark-ish. I mean, it's a barley wine. Mm-hmm. So it's not as dark as a stout, but it's still dark-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and flip back here because I just want to show you. So 50% of it aged for 10 months in barrels that were held in Oregon's, held Oregon Pinot Noir, which Oregon's known for having really good Pinot Noir, especially Willamette area. They have Tempranillo, Malbec. They brewed it with the traditional English malts, added in Cascade and Millennial hops. But as you read through, it was born of a double batch of their Mirror Pond Pale Ale. And that's what inspired them to do a barley wine ale and then age it. So that's what took them through there. And you can always see those kind of style guides. If you have Untapped up, you can go a little bit farther with it. I want to show one fun thing because when I was flipping through the photos, I like that someone actually added a mirror, like the whole Disney thing going on there.
Yeah, that's fun.
So I wanted to show that on there. Like I said, it's 11%. And it's had 21,000 check-ins since it's been out for just the 2014 reserve version of it. Again, 11.2% alcohol.
It's a little high.
Yeah, it's a little high. But having said that, I'm going to bring that up.
It's got, can definitely smell the barley on it. Or the...
Smells something on it.
Yeah, that it was aged in whiskey barrels, or it's it smells very strong. So I'll be interested. I haven't tried this, so this is new. That's different.
That is different. They kind of say on this one it's going to be sweet, smooth, malty, boozy, and strong. And it's weird how you can get strong and sweet and smooth all at the same time. I can see it kind of punches you right back here a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not as far back as you would with a tart, but it's like right, like someone socked me in the side of the mouth. In a good way, though. It's like a slap contest. Mm-hmm. And it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not my style I normally drink. I'm not a big barley wine person, but I also like trying and expanding what I do from time to time. As I flip back over, I just wanted to show, if you've never tried an Untapped, you can go to the style guide, and if I click on barley wine, it'll explain what it is. So while I'll explain it to you, this is pretty good to have, where it talks about what makes a barley wine. So it's just a strong ale. Leans heavy on malt. That's all that really means. The fact that it's aged in wine barrels isn't what makes it a barley wine. Barley wine is just that it's a strong ale that has a lot of malt, and they're high in alcohol. So that's what makes it. What's the style. I like to show that. And then I always like to show people, if you're ever looking for it, you can scroll down and kind of click that Find It button. There's none in this area. I know they do have some. It's just not, their inventory is not up there at Wine Styles in West Glen. But if you're looking for other beers, let's say Des Moines Dry Hop Double IPA, and you hit Find It, you can see other places. And you can change your stream to say, within 50 miles, because I'll drive places for beer. There you go. Hy-Vee has it. In Ankeny. So that's a cool little feature I like to make sure everyone knows about. And that's all I wanted to say on that one. I like to just show it. But I'm going to add that to the broadcast. Yes, 11%. That does sound like a wine. Isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Most wines are between 11 and 13, 14.
Most of them are almost 12 to 15.
Yes. Yep.
There's some, you can get some wines that are even higher. It's just, at some point, you're just drinking a spirit. But some of them are made to be drinking even smaller. It's like, isn't it ports? Ports. They normally pour into a very small, it's almost like this on a stem. which this is pretty small. I mean, I have small hands, so it makes this look deceivingly large, but I have small hands. See, it's not really as big as her head. That's only if I go like that. I make this weird. I'm here to make it weird for you people. You want me to do my cold Magnum Steel look into the camera again? No one wants this. This is where I go from like 50 viewers down to -5. No. Now this is what happens when I drink barley wine.
No.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that one's good. It's just different.
It's very strong, very boozy. So
which I don't like. This is where I get into trouble when I rate them, because this isn't one I would normally drink. So in the past, I would go, the art of it means I should give this a 5. It traditionally does get a 4. You know, almost well, it gets above a 4 from most people. It looks like. I mean, if I scroll through here, 3.75, 4, 3.75, 4.5, 4.75. So you can definitely tell the people who love it and the people who don't. I mean, there's a lot of 4.5s in here. But that's as I understand the art of it, and I would almost have rated it like a 4.25 just for the art. But I'm getting away from that. I'm scoring how I would want to drink it. So I'm going to do a little guess. What do you guys, anyone have guesses out there? Ideas what they think I'm going to rank it? Starting to learn my flavor profile here.
Yep, I'm trying to think what I think he's going to rate it. So, because he's
Running
going to
out
have
of
a
time.
guess. I'm going to say 3.25.
I actually like it a little bit better than that. It's not going to get the 4.25 for me, but I am going to give it a 3.75. I do think it's good. I'll definitely drink it. I'm glad I purchased it. It's a little different. It's something a little different. And I have a feeling the more I have with it, if we put this with, if we put this with a steak, something that's savory, it'd probably be a little bit different. I'm wondering what it would do with like an ice cream or a brownie, something that's already super sweet. That could change it. So I'm kind of curious what I might try with it. You know, just to see. Heck, I might go grab some jalapenos and give that a try just to see what that does when we try. Because sometimes the food you pair with it makes a big difference. A lot of wines, you kind of joke around wine and cheese, but some cheeses, there's a really good one called Prairie Breeze, pretty much goes with everything. And it's cheap. Super cheap. By Milton Brewery. Milton Dairy.
It's really good.
And it goes with just about everything, but you can get a good chunk for like $3, 3 to 5.
And they make some other kinds too.
Yeah, they make tons.
Yeah.
They have an old style
really
cheddar
good.
that's really good. But what's cool is sometimes you'll have a wine that's just a little too much. Like it almost still, I like a peppery one. I like a good strong wine. But with the right cheese, it just kind of
smooths it out.
Mellows it out, and it enhances the cheese too. So I didn't always subscribe to the food made a big difference with it. It's like a good, not just a regular burger, but a good barbecue burger. That char a little bit coming off of it, the smokiness into it, can really change a beer. Like your McDonald's one isn't going to change the flavor of that beer a whole lot. It might a little bit, but a good one off the grill, a good purchased one even, you know, from a place and, you know, where they're going to get a little bit better beef and you know it's not just microwaved, it's going to change it. And so one like this, especially a barley wine, I'm thinking a good barbecue, even barbecue sauce almost on there with a little bit of hot something maybe, would make this thing taste great.
I think maybe like a barbecue chicken would actually be.
Yeah, barbecue chicken would probably be really good with that. You know, even do some turkey with hot sauce and that might be.
Yeah.
But I think barbecue. would be the key with that one.
Yes.
More than hot sauce, but barbecue. But I'm going to try a few tonight, which is why I gave it a 3.75. Because I think I see its potential.
Okay.
No, it's not going to get a 4 from me.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm going to check that in because I got to get my untapped points. Which reminds me, because I haven't said it for like a good 10 minutes. Hey, come see us on a handy dandy Untapped, just come follow us there. And you can also just search for me. Untapped, look for at Glitch2600. You can follow along. That's where we have those beer lists, and you can follow along there. You can just also hover your phone on here, and that works really well. Otherwise, I'm just going to come back over here. I want to make sure, one, that everyone remembers they can come find us on YouTube. Or, if you don't want to use that QR code, which you should because that saves time. Otherwise, if you're on YouTube or if you're not already following us on Facebook, follow us here. We're going to be adding even more and more trivia and more cool stuff to the show here very, very, very soon. It's like I was working on it earlier. But I just want to remind everyone what we drank tonight.
Yes.
So we had the Imperial Red Ale from Carakale. This is from Jordan. Turn it so they can see it. And we'll go like this. Woo! There we go. I love their logo. It's really cool. But yeah, it's not just brewed with Jordanian dates. It's actually brewed in Jordan. But our next one, the Des Moines Double Dry Hopped IPA. Des Moines IPA. Double Dry Hopped by Confluence. And then last but not least, we've been having the Mirror Mirror by Deschutes Brewery. So that's what we've been doing. Mm-hmm. We've enjoyed having you guys drink along with us. If you guys have any questions, now's a good time to ask. Otherwise, we're hoping that you'll come and join us for our tech Q&A times. We normally do those on Tuesdays, but they might not stay there. And if you have a cool name for it, we've been calling it Tech Tuesday, but we've been talking about Tech TV or coming up with some name. You know, obviously, this one we call GH2 because it's Glitch Happy Hour. 2 H's, H squared. We also have our Glitch Bits and Bytes. Bits are just little, 3 to 5 minute bits of knowledge on your computer. We have a bunch of those that are being recorded and coming soon. Little things for how to connect your Wi-Fi on your phone, how to turn on and off AirDrop if you're an iPhone person, all those little fun things, clearing your browser cache, why you want to do that. And then we have our bytes that are bigger portions of that. So right now we have our League of Legends one rolling there, and we're going to be adding a lot more and expanding on those ones. That's a first generation one going through. And we have the one to upload on YouTube. I swear we're going to finish editing it. It's on Facebook. We had a small glitch with the file when we went to bring it to YouTube. But just have to fix the one voiceover part. But you can go there and learn everything you ever want to about League of Legends. And we're going to keep expanding that series, and you can ask questions. Right now it's all about the client and entering into the map, so Runeterra. But we'll also have stuff like purchasing the right Wi-Fi. What's Wi-Fi 6? And what's a mesh? Do you want a mesh? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Well, that would be in a bite. We'd go over that. Or everything and how I want to, or how you should configure your Apple Watch. Applications I like. Little tips and tricks you can do in there that go a little bit longer than 5 minutes. So yep. I have to cough, so. But that's our bits and bytes. So we hope you stay around for that if you're new here. And again, hopefully like and subscribe. We hope you had fun.
Thanks for joining us.
And if there's no questions, no comments, we're going to get back to drinking. We got to finish all these bottles that we opened. And the night's still semi-young for us. So.
All right. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Good to see ya.
Bye now.